whatever allows you to be really comfortable for this moment. We will switch our seated position in a little bit, but for right now, just be comfortable. Allow your hands to come into your lap. Go ahead and close your eyes, or have a nice soft gaze down at the floor, and just be right here, right now. So I don't want you to do anything with your breath. I don't want you to do anything with the body. I just want you to sit right here, however you are seated. Just be. Keep your inhales and your exhales on its own, allowing it to just flow naturally. Be aware of the room that you're in. Be aware of the things that are in your room. Be aware of any noises you may hear. And then be aware of you sitting on your mat. Feel the connection your body makes to the mat, whether it just be your sits bones, your calves, maybe just your ankles, your heels, whatever parts of the body is making contact, just be aware of that. Let's concentrate on being in the present moment, being aware of where we are. So if you are not already seated in a crisscross fashion, I would like you to sit in a crisscross fashion right now. And maybe you have a blanket or a pillow that you can put underneath your sits bones, which allows your hips to be higher than your knees, which also allows your spine to be nice and long. We would like to find extension from the hips coming all the way up to the crown of the head. But we don't want to do this with force. We want to allow this to happen naturally. So by allowing the hips to be higher than the knees, that starts that process of elongating the spine. Now I want you to bring some of the weight back into your sits bones. So a lot of times we sit forward. So just come back just a little bit more. What that does is it brings the shoulders over the hips. So now we have a nice long extension through the spine going all the way up to the crown of the head. Lift your chin just a little bit. Open your eyes for a brief moment and look straight ahead. Now slowly close your eyes. Keeping the hands nice and gently in the lap. Start to lengthen your inhale. So as you inhale, feel it coming down through the chest and then maybe settling in the belly, allowing the belly to expand. And just concentrate on the inhale. When you're ready, allow the exhale to happen. So the taller we sit, the more extension we have on our front, on the body all around, the more expansion we'll have in our lungs for a deeper inhale. We are a society that tends to breathe just from the chest. So allowing that breath to come all the way down just benefits the body. It allows you to have more air, it gives you more energy. It can calm your central nervous system. It can also still the mind. So just keep concentrating on that deep breath into the belly. And then let the belly fall as you exhale when you're ready. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. and exhale. Feel how the inhale, the air is a little cool as it comes in through the nose. And when you exhale, notice that it's a little warm and maybe it tickles the top of your top lip as it exhales. Breath is so important. It also helps to move the body as we go through our flow this morning, remembering to keep the breath moving as you move in and out of your poses. And I will guide you through that. I will say inhale and exhale so that you can allow the breath to not only give you energy, give you focus, allow you to go a little bit deeper into the pose, but it also brings calmness as you're going through the movement. And all of that working together brings balance and peace. We're just going to sit and we're going to do some neck stretches. So feel free to keep your eyes open, or you can open them, or just have a nice soft gaze looking at one point, a focal point. Take a nice big inhale, sit up nice and tall, crown of the head towards the ceiling, and then drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Try to refrain from bringing the shoulders up. The ear is never going to touch the shoulder, and that's okay. We just want to feel the stretch, the sensation that's happening on the left side of the neck. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, let the left ear go towards the left shoulder, feeling the stretch on the right side of the neck. Inhale, come back up through center. Right ear, right shoulder. And we're going to come up through center and then to the left one more time. And then come back up to center. Take a nice big inhale. Sit up nice and tall, crown of the head towards the ceiling. When you exhale, drop the chin to the chest. So just let the head hang. You're just tipping the chin towards the chest. However far down it comes is perfect. Relaxing the shoulders, letting some of the tension leave as we stretch the back. Inhale. And then when you exhale, allow the head to come back. Feeling the stretch in the front of the neck, which is also where your sixth chakra is. No, your fifth, the throat chakra. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, let the chin come to the chest. And inhale, come up one more time, head goes to the back. And then inhale, come back up to center. And just take 2 cycles of breath here. Maybe of the shoulders, the top, and the back as well. Take your right hand, place it on the floor, on your fingertips, or maybe your whole palm. Inhale the left arm up, and then come over to the right. So we're going to allow the right arm to bend. We're going to reach with the left arm. And we're going to get a side body stretch from the left hip all the way up through the fingertips. Inhale, come back up to center. This time we're going to go in the opposite direction. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up, getting a stretch on the right side body from the hip all the way up to the fingertips. Keep the right hip down. Depth in a pose is really not important. What's most important is your alignment. And so we can go really deep if we pick that right hip up. But if you notice, by picking the right hip up, you lose the stretch. And the stretch is what we want. Inhale, come up through center. Other side, so we're going to the right one more time. Let the elbow bend. Keep the left hip down on the mat. So you can go into the depth of any pose to what is comfortable for you. Inhale. To the left. And then come back up to center. Then go ahead and wiggle your arms out. And we're going to bring our hands right on top of our shoulders. So we're not going to bring our shoulders up. We're going to bring our elbows up. Elbows as high as the shoulders. Shoulders are down. And we're going to twist to the right, twist to the left. And we're just going to go at your own pace. You can bring your head with you, or you can keep your head steady. It's your choice. But just enjoy the twist. So twisting is really good for digestion. It's also good for spinal movement because we're moving in a direction that we normally do not move into. So it's nice to make some space to get all the fluids moving. Go ahead and finish up. Come back to center. Bring your hands down to your knees, palms face up. And just allow yourself to sit with the sensation of the twist. Maybe come back to your breath, keeping the breath nice and even. Allowing the body to settle after the movement. And then with your next inhale, we are going to come into a child's pose. So remove the pillow, the blanket, the block, or whatever if you were sitting on something. And child's pose, we'll bring our knees as wide as the mat. Our toes are going to touch behind. See how my toes are touching right here? And then we're going to sit our hips to the heels, arms straight out in front, forehead down on the mat. I'm going to just move my mat diagonally so you can see the pose a little bit better. So child's pose allows the shoulders to get stretched and the head down on the mat allows you to release some of the pressure in the neck and the shoulders. So walk your fingers a little bit forward, just a little bit. Set the hips back just a little bit more. They never have to touch the heels. And allow the forehead on the mat. And allow your breath to be nice and even. Connect back with the breath. Allow it to be soft. And as you inhale, imagine your breath going down the back side body. Hitting your tailbone. And then as you exhale, imagine your breath coming up through the front side body and then exhaling through the nose. So inhale, the breath goes down the back side body. Exhale, comes out the front side body. On your next inhale, come up to a tabletop position. So tabletop, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. So your knees are going to be at hip width distance. Your gaze is down. Your neck is nice and long. The crown of the head is pointed to whatever is in front of you. And just settle into the tabletop. Feeling the strength of the hands and the arms and the knees. And if this is too much for your knees, because sometimes it is, always take a blanket and put them underneath your knees for some more support. Props are a wonderful thing. Props does not mean that you cannot do it. Props mean that you are allowing yourself to listen to what your body needs and giving your body what it needs at that moment. Let's do some cat-cows. As you inhale, drop the belly, arch the back, and bring the gaze up. As you exhale, push the mat away, belly to spine, gaze comes down, rounded top shoulders for cat. Inhale for cow. We're just moving the spine, warming it up. Exhale for cat. Belly to spine. Push through the hands. One more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale for cat. And then when you're done, come to a neutral tabletop. Thread the needle. Allow your hand, your left hand, to be nice and strong on the mat. Inhale your right arm all the way up. Gaze comes up to look at the right hand. And then as you exhale, you're going to take the right hand, you're going to weave it through between the left arm and the left thigh and bring your right cheek down on the mat. So right cheek is down on the mat, right hand is extended out, palm is facing the ceiling, and then your left hand, you can keep your hand right in front of your face, or you can extend it all the way out. It's totally up to you. Wherever is going to be more comfortable, I'm just going to adjust this so I can see, so you can see. So this pose might be a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. So being uncomfortable, there's nothing wrong with that. You're challenging yourself while you're uncomfortable. You're going to breathe into that space that's uncomfortable. You're going to allow the exhale to take whatever doesn't feel good and let it go. The one thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to sit in pain. So if anything is hurting, going numb, tingling, any of that, come out of the pose. You always want to protect the body. We always want to honor the body. And maybe today it's just not, thread the needle is just not good. But tomorrow it will be okay, and that's all right. So we're going to come out of thread the needle, press the left hand down, let it lift you up. Right arm comes all the way up to the ceiling, and then the right hand comes down on the mat. Other side, inhale the left arm all the way up. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand all the way through. Left cheek comes down on the mat. So left arm is extended, left palm faces the ceiling. Your right hand, wherever you put your left arm on the other side, do that with your right arm on this side. We always want to make sure that what we do on the right, we do on the left, and that everything is balanced. And that way we're not walking in circles or we're not lopsided for the day. Remembering to connect back to your breath. If you have to hold your breath or you're breathing too hard, you've gone too far in the pose, just allow yourself to come back maybe 10 or 15% and then settle into the pose and breathe. Knowing also that opposite sides of the body are always different and they're not always going to be the same. And that's okay. We're going to come out, press on the right hand, lift up, take that left arm all the way up, and then bring it down to the mat. We're back in our tabletop. We're going to curl the toes. So we're going to come up on the toes. Our hands are going to go one handprint in front of where they are right now. And we're going to push up into our first down dog. So hips are going to come up to the sky and back. And you can keep your knees bent, or you can straighten them. So you're on your toe mounds, heels are going towards the mat. They never have to touch. Your fingers are spread wide. The weight is in between the pointer finger and the thumb. And we're gonna stay here for 2 cycles of breath. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. And then tiptoe your feet up to your hands. So you want to bring your left foot behind your left hand, right foot behind your right hand. And go ahead and keep your knees bent. The one thing we never want to do is we never want to lock out our knees or our elbows. We want to always protect them. So let's go into ragdoll forward fold. Let the belly rest on top of the thighs. And then grab opposite elbows. And then let your head hang. So the crown of the head is going towards the floor. You are firmly supported in your feet on the mat. Maybe you take some yeses and some nos with your head. Maybe you sway side to side. Maybe you just stay right where you are. It's totally your choice. Drop your hands back to the mat. Maybe straighten your legs just a little bit for your forward fold. Again, let the head hang. And we're going to roll up very slowly. We're just going to roll up. We're going to allow our chin to be the last thing that comes up. And when it does, with hands down by our side, let me fix that. We are in mountain pose. Oops. My professional film crew couldn't come in today, so I'm working the camera today. Toes and heels are together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Relax your shoulders. Bring your palms together and bring your hands down to heart center. Take a nice big inhale. And when you exhale, release the hands down by your sides. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to feel your feet on your mat. Rock forward, rock back. Maybe rock side to side. I want you to just ground down into the mat. Always trusting that your legs are strong enough to hold you up and your mat is strong enough to hold you and keep you safe as well. But as we're here on our feet, we want to find that sweet spot of balance. So lift your toes and bring some of the weight forward, just a tiny little bit so that you can feel the toe mounds pressing into the mat. Now bring the weight to the back and feel the heels into the mat. Now rock side to side or front to back and find that spot where you're making a triangle with your toe mounds and then coming down into your heel. And when you are there, slowly release the toes down to the mat. Beautiful. Keep your eyes closed. Now bring some of the weight back into your heels just a little bit. Nice. Engage your quads. Tuck your tailbone. Pull up the abs, the belly, the torso. Find length. Roll the shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades coming towards each other. Lift the chin just a little bit. Bring the ears back just a tad. Nice. Mountain pose right here where you are. Feel the strength that is your body standing here in mountain. Feel how you are grounded down into the earth. Inhale your arms up all the way. You can open your eyes if you want, you can keep them closed. Relax your shoulders down. We're going to do a little back bend. It's going to be very, very tiny. You're going to engage the glutes, push the hips forward, heart up to the ceiling, head comes back, arms follow. Come back to your comfort level, then maybe go back just a little bit more, keeping the legs straight, pushing the hips forward. Engaging the glutes keeps you from dumping into your lower back. Inhale, come back up to center. Bring your palms together. Bring them through heart center and forward fold. Nice long spine, hinge at your hips. Come all the way down. So a forward fold is folding in half. That's why we want length in the body. Bringing the belly towards the thighs, hands down on the floor, on the mat. You can bend your knees slightly if you need to. But feel the strength of your legs holding you up as you are bent forward. Inhale, halfway lift. So you can put your hands on your shins or on the tops of your thighs. So you are the number 7. Your back is nice and long. Tailbone is out. Crown of the head is forward. Fold forward. Belly coming towards the thighs, heart towards the knees, crown of the head towards the floor. Plant your hands down, and then step the right leg back. Bring the left leg back, coming into plank. So in plank, the heels are going towards the back. Now you may always come down on your knees if you need to. Please do that. But if you can stay on your toes, we're not going to be here very long. Push the floor away. Allow the neck to be nice and long. Your gaze is just at the top of your mat. Engage your abs. You have 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees down. Uncurl your toes. And then very slowly lower your belly, your body down to the mat. All the way down. Beautiful. Keep your hands right underneath your shoulders. Because we're going to do Cobra. Bhujangasana Cobra. Elbows are up and towards the body. Exhale everything out. And then with an inhale, lift just your heart up off of the mat. So your toes are pointed. Engage your glutes. Exhale, forehead comes down on the mat. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, heart comes up. This is a spine strengthener. Shoulders down and back. Breathe. Keep your feet on the mat. Exhale, bring your head down to the mat. With your next inhale, push back to the tabletop. So knees are directly underneath your hips. Wrists are underneath your shoulders. Beautiful. Tuck your toes, push up to down dog. Hips come up and back. Legs are straight, or you can have a micro bend in your knees. Never lock your knees out. Breathe. Shoulder blades come back and together. Tiptoe your feet all the way up to your hands for your forward fold. Remember to let the head drop. We tend to come into our forward fold and keep our head looking up. We don't want that. We want our head looking down. We want to be looking at our shins. Fingers on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your thighs or your shins, whatever's comfortable for you. Tailbone goes back. Spine is nice and long. Fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms come all the way up for extended mountain. Relax your shoulders down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, come back up to center. Bring your palms together. Hands through heart center, forward fold. Come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step your left leg back this time. Then your right leg, holding in plank again. This will be our last plank. Getting in that core work. Press the heels back. Engage your abs. You have 3, 2, And 1. Now push right back up to down dog. Maybe you might need to adjust your feet. That's okay. Inhale, bring the right leg all the way up. And when you exhale, bring the right leg all the way through for low lunge. So my foot doesn't always come all the way, so I need to help it sometimes. And that's okay. You have your hands on opposite sides of your right foot. Drop the back knee. Uncurl those toes. We're going to stretch out the leg a little bit. We're going to keep our hands right where they are. And we're going to sit our hips back. We're going to straighten the front leg and come up on the heel of the right foot, toes flex back towards your face. Keep your hands forward. Getting a stretch in the hamstring of the right leg and behind the knee. Now we're going to come forward. We're going to drop that right foot down, bend the knee. We're going to drop the hips forward, getting a stretch in the quad right here on the left leg. Let's sit back one more time. Straighten out the front leg, come up on the heel. Right foot comes down, bend the right knee, drop the hips forward. And then come back to your lunge, where your knee is over your ankle. Tuck your back toes and lift the back leg. So push the heel back, get extension in that left leg. Really ground down into the right foot. We're going to pivot the back foot. And we're going to cartwheel our arms all the way up, and we're going to come into Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, you have several options. Your feet, your right foot is pointed to the top of the mat. Your left foot is parallel with the back of the mat. You may have your heel in line with the arch of your left foot, or they can be, your heels can be in line with each other. It works better for my body to have the heel in line with the arch of the foot. Bring your hands to your hips, come into your lunge. So your knee does not go past your ankle, and your knee points towards the second and third toe of the right foot. Sink down into your lunge, squeeze your inner thighs together. Now let's involve the arms. Arms shoulder height. Feel like someone's pulling you in opposite directions, but keep your torso right center. So you're going to square the shoulders. The hips might not necessarily square. My left hip likes to come forward a little bit, and that's okay. Tee out the arms. Look over the middle finger of the front hand. Warrior Two is a power pose. Feel how strong you are right here. Flip the front palm. Let's do reverse warrior. Just the shoulders are moving. Right arm comes up and back. Left arm can slide down the left leg. From the waist down, nothing moves. Breathe. On your next inhale, come back to Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg and bring the right foot in. Arms come up for 5-pointed star. So find extension, arms going up, feet rooting down. Tee out your arms, palms face down. Wide-legged forward fold. Hinge at your hips and come all the way down. Lead with your chin, long spine. Once you are down, place your hands underneath your face. Let the elbows bend. Let the crown of the head go towards the floor. Bring the weight into the balls of the feet. Push the thighs back. Halfway lift. Come up on your fingertips and straighten your arms. Gaze is down. Push the thighs back behind you. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. In the halfway lift, bring the left foot, heel toe the left foot 3 times in. So it's coming closer. So it's probably going to come right behind your left hand. And we're going to walk the hands to the front of the mat, and we're going to pivot our feet at the same time, coming into pyramid. So back leg is nice and straight, front leg is nice and straight, head is hanging down. Hands are on the mat. We're breathing. Bring the weight into the right leg, bring the left foot up to meet the right leg. You're in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step the right leg back this time. Step the left leg back right into down dog. Find your dog. Concentrate on your dog. Shoulder blades come down the back. Press through the palms of the hands. Press through the heels behind you. Tailbone up and back. Breathe. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring the left leg all the way through for low lunge. Once your foot is there, go ahead and drop the back knee down. So the right knee is down on the mat. Uncurl the toes. Let's stretch the left leg. Sit the hips back. Keep the hands by the feet. Let the heel come up. Even if your toes just barely come up off the mat, flex the toes back towards your face. You'll still experience the stretch in the hamstring, the Achilles tendon. Place the left foot down, bend the left knee, drop the hips forward, get a quad stretch in the right leg. Let's sit back one more time. Hips to heel, or in that direction. Let the left foot come up. Flex the toes back towards your face. Keep your hands down by your feet so you can use that as a balancing as you bring your hips back. And then place the foot down, knee comes forward, stretch the right quad. Come back to your lunge. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, and lift the back knee. Take a second. Pivot the back foot, come into warrior two on this side. So this time your left foot is forward. Come into your lunge, hands on your hips, come into your lunge. So get your alignment with your feet where it works for you. The knee towards the second and third toe. Back leg nice and straight. Torso in the middle. Shoulders are square to the long edge of your mat. Hips do not have to be, shoulders are. Now tee out your arms. Sink back down into your lunge. Look over the middle finger of your left hand. Pretend someone's pulling you in opposite directions with your arms. So you're getting extension going forward, extension going back. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Breathe. Flip the front palm. From the waist down stays. Left arm comes up and back, right arm slides down the back leg. Gaze is up. Or, if that's uncomfortable, you can gaze down. But don't lose your lunge. It's really easy to lose your lunge here. Your next inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, pivot the left foot, come into 5-pointed star. Really reach up. Bring your hands down behind you, interlace your fingers. And then take a nice big inhale, hinge forward, hinge at your waist, lead with your chin, forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Now let your arms come off your back, or they can stay right there. But let your arms do whatever it is that they want to do. Keep your breath nice and even in and out of the nose. Your next exhale, release the hands down to the mat. So they're going to be right underneath your face. Let your elbows bend, just like we did on the other side, forward fold. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. I'm sorry, towards the floor. Come up for a halfway lift. Come up with your fingertips. Gaze is down, crown of the head going forward. Thighs come back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and heel toe your right foot in. It's probably going to come right behind your right hand. We're going to walk our hands forward and we're going to pivot. So this time the left foot is in front for pyramid. Both legs are straight, head is towards your knee. Bring some weight into the left foot, bring the right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands. Heel toe your feet out. Wider than hip width distance, probably as wide as your mat. And then bring the toes facing out. And we're going to come into frog. So you're just going to squat down. You might have to adjust your feet. I always get my feet wider than I need them to be. Elbows are going to come to the insides of your knees. Hands are going to come to heart center. So the elbows are going to help push the knees out. You're really going to ground down into your feet, especially the heel. Tailbone sits down. And the goal is to sit up as straight as possible. Today, this is as straight as I'm going to get, and that's okay. And if you're a little bit more forward, that's okay. And if you're sitting back and straighter than I am, that's okay too. It's all right. We must always honor where we are at that moment. It's all about being present in this moment. Just take some nice deep breaths. We're going to put our hands down on the mat, and we're going to come forward on our palms, and we're going to bring our knees down so that we're sitting hips to heels. And just sit here for a moment, sit upright. Let your hands be down on the mat. And just take some nice simple breaths. Maybe close your eyes for a moment, maybe reconnect back. We're going to start to slow the practice down even more. And let's get our breath to slow down as well. Get a drink of water if you need to. And flutter your eyes open. Ardha Krimasana, half tortoise. Inhale your arms all the way up. Bring your palms together, cross your thumbs, so your hands are going to stay together, thumbs are going to be crossed. Biceps are going to be by your ears as best as you can. We're going to hinge forward. So this is a forward fold. As you hinge from your waist, you're going to come down long spine, bring your forehead to the mat. Now I need to lift my hips up to get my forehead down on the mat, and that's okay. You may also. But once your forehead is there, then start scooshing your hips back just a little bit. So this is all about front and back body extension and side body as well. Allow the pinky side edge of your hands to dig deep into the mat. And as you inhale, maybe you scoot your hands a little bit further up. And then as you exhale, you softly bring the hips back. Inhale, scoot the hands up a little bit more. Exhale, softly sit the hips back. The hips never have to touch your heels. Please always know that. It's just a direction. We're going to go out the same way we went in. Squeeze your knees together. Biceps by your ears, long spine. Once you're all the way up, exhale as your arms come down by your side. Take another cycle of breath. Inhale and exhale. Now come standing on your knees for Ustrasana Camel. Knees are hip width distance. You can measure that with 2 fists in between your knees with everything touching. Toes can touch behind you. You can also have your knees a little bit wider if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Your hands will come on your sacrum. So that's like you're putting your fingers in your back pockets if you had them. Fingers can be up or you can have fists, whatever works well for you. As you inhale, allow the shoulders to come back and down. Push the hips forward, heart up to the ceiling, head comes back. Now, if you find breathing is too difficult here, tuck your chin a little bit, and that's okay. But most important is pushing the hips forward, shin staying down on the mat. We won't be here much longer. You have 3, 2, and 1. Very slowly bring yourself back up. Release your hands, and then sit hips to heels. Take your peace fingers, place them down on the mat. It's called Boom Mudra. It's a grounding mudra. Take a nice big inhale through the nose, and let it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So after you have really big heart openers like Camel is, a lot of things can come up where you may feel very unsteady or a little off balance. Boom Mudra will help you with that. Just put your fingers down on the mat and just inhale and exhale. And this can happen at any time. And that will ground you back down into the mat or into the earth or wherever you are at the moment. And it'll allow your breath to be even, and then you'll be able to find your center again. And then that is where you find the calmness. Let's come to seated. So just swing your hips to the side, bring your legs straight out in front. Maybe give them a nice little shake. Take the right leg, bring it to the outside of the mat, just a little bit outside of the mat. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. So if you can't come all the way in and your leg is down here, that's fine. Just don't put it on your knee. You want to protect the knee at all costs. Janu-Asana, separate leg, forehead to knee. Inhale, your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers. As you exhale, come down over the right leg. So the whole idea here is that the fingers are at the ball of the foot. The head is on, the forehead is down on the knee. So sometimes we need to bend the knee to make that happen. Because this is not a quad stretch, it is a lower opposite back stretch. So this is going to stretch out the left side. So interlace your fingers, the ball of your foot, tuck your head, chin into chest, forehead down on the mat, on the knee. And as you are here, I want you to connect back to your breath. So slow the breath down. Find softness in your left knee, your left hip, and your left shoulder. Allow the shoulder to drop down a little bit. This is like a surrender series. So every time you exhale, allow yourself to go a little bit closer in with the pose. Allowing yourself to sink down. Just getting that lower left back stretch. Having the chin tucked to the chest, forehead on the knee. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. And then inhale, Leave your arms up overhead, straighten out that right leg. And then bring the right leg in, left leg comes out. So let them reset for a moment. Then take the left leg out, bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, come down over the left leg. Hook the interlaced fingers to the ball of the foot. Bend the knee, tuck the chin. Forehead down on the knee. Allow yourself to surrender down into the pose with every exhale. Find softness in your right knee, your right hip, and your right shoulder. Two more cycles of breath here. Make it a nice, full, deep cycle. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, straighten out the left leg, straighten out the right leg. Bring them both together. And then very slowly allow yourself to come down onto your mat. So we're going to be completely down on the mat, on our back. Take a good morning stretch. Arms straight up overhead. Reach through your toes, reach through your fingertips. Let the body get nice and long. And then bring the knees in, hug them into the chest. Now, leave your knees where they are. Take the left arm, let it come out. Head stays on the mat. Take your right hand, place it on the left knee, straighten the right leg. Right leg is straight, left arm is straight. Bring the left knee across the body to the right, gaze to the left for a nice little twist. The knee does not have to come all the way down to the floor, just across the body. Let your next inhale bring you back to center. Hug the knees in one more time. Maybe you lift your head. Place the head down on the mat. Leave your knees where they are. Right arm comes out, shoulder height. Left hand holds the right knee. Left leg comes out straight. Pull the right knee across to the left, gaze to the right. Your next inhale, come back up to center. Hug your knees one more time. This time, leave your head down on the mat. Then bring the soles of your feet together. Open up your knees, coming into happy baby. So you can grab the outsides of the feet, the inside of the feet, the heels, the ankles, whatever is most comfortable. And maybe you'd like to rock side to side, giving your sacrum a nice little massage. Maybe you'd like to take some ninja kicks. Preparing for our final Shavasana class. Allow yourself to take whatever organic movements you need and then come to stillness on your mat, laying on your back. And then once you are there, I want you to get 5% more comfortable. What last minute fidget do you need to take to become a little bit more comfortable in your Shavasana? Close your eyes. And I want you to concentrate on being completely still. Give yourself permission to be still. Anytime you start getting thoughts of your to-do list or what you're going to do, just allow your exhale to take those thoughts with you. They're not important right now. And if they are important, you'll remember after class. Part your lips ever so slightly. Let your lower jaw relax. Let your shoulders just sink into the mat. Let the rise and fall of your chest with your inhale and your exhale happen on its own. Let the belly just relax. Allow your body to become more relaxed with every exhale. Allow every exhale to let your body sink deeper into relaxation, knowing that you are in a safe space, you are supported, you are calm and peaceful. You are relaxed. You are secure. You are supported. You are peaceful. Start to bring your awareness back into the room, back into your body, back into your space. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some movement into the body. And with your next inhale, very slowly and very gently, roll to your right side and curl up. Keeping your gaze soft or your eyes closed, very slowly come to a seated position. Just like in the beginning of class. Maybe it's crisscross applesauce. Maybe it's hips to heels. Maybe your legs are just straight out in front. Whatever is most comfortable for you, right here in this moment. And when you find that sweet spot, bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head and give yourself some gratitude for taking time out of your day for self-love and self-care for yourself. It is with the deepest of gratitude that I thank you for allowing me to guide you through practice this morning. May you find peace and possibility with every breath that you take. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. We are the same. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. You worked well. I hope you enjoyed class. May you have the most beautiful day. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you.